The perfect lie. Sophia had everything, at least, that's what everyone thought. A loving husband, a beautiful home, a successful career. She was the kind of woman others envied, the one with the perfect Instagram feed, the perfect smile, the perfect life. But perfection was a fragile illusion, one that shattered the moment she saw the message. It was a simple text, nothing more than a name and a time. Chris, 8 p.m. Her heart pounded as she stared at the screen. Her husband, Daniel, had left his phone on the kitchen counter while he showered. She wasn't the type to snoop, but something about the way he had been acting lately, coming home late, the quick, nervous glances at his phone, the distant kisses, made her uneasy. With shaking fingers, she unlocked his phone. The conversation was short but damning. Chris, tonight? Daniel, of course. Can't wait to see you. Chris, same. I'll be waiting, winky face. Sophia's blood turned cold. Her husband was cheating. She swallowed hard, forcing herself to stay calm. She needed proof. Something undeniable. If she confronted him now, he would find a way to talk himself out of it, gaslight her, tell her she was imagining things. No, she needed more. At exactly 7:30 p.m., Daniel kissed her goodbye. Late meeting at work, babe. Don't wait up. She smiled, nodding as if she believed him. But the moment he walked out the door, she grabbed her car keys and followed. Sophia kept her distance, trailing Daniel's car through the dimly lit streets. Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel, her heart pounding with every turn he made. He wasn't heading toward his office, he was driving in the opposite direction, toward the outskirts of the city. 15 minutes later, he pulled into a small, private hotel. The kind of place couples went when they didn't want to be seen. Her stomach twisted. She watched as Daniel stepped out of his car, adjusting his shirt, running a hand through his hair. He checked his phone, then walked inside. Sophia sat frozen, her mind racing. She could turn around and leave. She could pretend she never saw this, go home, and let him come back with his usual lies. But something inside her snapped. She parked her car, took a deep breath, and stepped out. Inside, the lobby was small, barely staffed. A tired-looking receptionist barely glanced up as she walked past. Her eyes scanned the room, and then she saw him, Daniel, standing by the elevator. He was tapping his foot impatiently, looking at his phone. Waiting. Waiting for her. The elevator dinged. The doors slid open, and out stepped Chris. Sophia's breath caught in her throat. Chris was not a woman. He was tall, well-dressed, with sharp cheekbones and a confident smirk. He walked up to Daniel without hesitation, grabbing him by the collar and pulling him into a kiss. Sophia felt the world tilt beneath her feet. Sophia's breath hitched. She gripped the cold metal railing beside her, feeling the weight of betrayal sink deep into her bones. Daniel, with a man? Her world spun. She had imagined another woman, someone younger, prettier, maybe a coworker. But this? It felt like a whole new level of deception. She forced herself to stay still, to watch as Daniel leaned into the kiss, his hands settling on Chris's waist as if it were the most natural thing in the world. As if he had done it 1,000 times before. Her fingers twitched over her phone. She could record it. Catch him the way he had never expected. But what then? Confront him? Expose him? Scream? Cry? No. She needed answers. Chris pulled away first, laughing softly. Missed me that much, huh? Daniel chuckled, shaking his head. You have no idea. I swear, sneaking around is getting harder. Chris smirked. Then stopped sneaking. Daniel sighed. You know I can't. Not yet. Sophia, she suspects something. I can feel it. Sophia's stomach dropped. Chris rolled his eyes. Then tell her the truth. Stop playing the perfect husband. It's been 2 years, Daniel. 2 years. Sophia felt like she'd been punched. All the late nights, the distant kisses, the coldness in their marriage. It hadn't been her imagination. Her husband hadn't just been unfaithful. He had been living a whole other life. Sophia's hands trembled as she clenched her phone, her nails digging into her palm. 2 years. 2 years of lies, of stolen moments, of her wondering if she wasn't enough, if she was the problem. But the truth was far worse than she had ever imagined. She forced herself to stay calm. Not here. Not yet. Chris sighed and ran a hand through his hair. Look, I get it. You have a whole life with her. But do you love her? Daniel hesitated. It was barely a second, but to Sophia, it felt like an eternity. Finally, he exhaled. I care about her. But love? He shook his head. Not the way I love you. A cold, bitter laugh almost escaped her lips. She swallowed it down. Chris smiled, brushing his fingers along Daniel's jaw. Then stopped pretending. It's cruel to both of you. Daniel sighed. I just need more time. Sophia had heard enough. She turned on her heel and walked out of the hotel, her head spinning. Back at home, she poured herself a glass of wine, her fingers tapping against the countertop. She could confront him. Demand the truth. But he would just feed her more lies, more excuses. No. He didn't deserve an easy way out. She took a deep breath and grabbed her laptop. If Daniel wanted time, she would give it to him in the cruelest way possible. She logged into their shared bank account. Over the years, she had handled most of their finances. He never paid attention to details. With a few clicks, she transferred half of their savings into her personal account. Then she opened his email and began forwarding everything, the hotel receipts, the hidden transactions, to her lawyer. For 2 years, he had lived a double life. Now, she would destroy the one he had left. Sophia barely slept that night, but by morning, she had a plan. A cruel, calculated, and perfect plan. She wasn't going to scream. She wasn't going to beg for an explanation. She was going to let him destroy himself. That evening, Daniel walked through the front door as if nothing had happened. His tie was loosened, his fake exhaustion in place. Hey, babe, he said, kissing her cheek. Long day. She smiled sweetly. I bet. He had no idea she had followed him. No idea she had emptied half their accounts. No idea she had already spoken to a divorce lawyer. But the best part? He had no idea what was about to happen. The next night, she suggested a dinner party, just a small one, for their closest friends. Daniel, eager to keep up appearances, agreed without hesitation. At exactly 8 p.m., their guests arrived. Wine flowed, laughter filled the air. And then, right when the mood was perfect, Sophia stood up, clinking her glass for attention. I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate love tonight, she began, her voice smooth as silk. True love. Honest love. She turned to Daniel, her smile razor sharp. The kind of love that doesn't need to be hidden. Daniel frowned slightly, his glass pausing midair. She reached for her phone. So let's toast to this kind of love. With a single tap, the television behind her lit up, playing the video. The security footage from the hotel. Daniel. Chris. The kiss. The room went dead silent. Daniel's face drained of color. His glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the floor. Sophia took a sip of her wine, letting the moment sink in. Surprise. Chris had been right, Daniel needed to stop pretending. So she helped him do it. 3 weeks later, Sophia sat in her new apartment, sipping coffee as she scrolled through the news. Daniel had lost everything. His job. His reputation. Half of his money. And most importantly, her. She smiled to herself. Some betrayals end in heartbreak. Hers ended in victory. The end.